you have any queries or any questions, either you can post it in the chat box right away. We will be picking that question at the end of the session if you think you are going to forget it. Otherwise, you can pose these questions at the end. We'll be having a Q&A. As I was saying, this is going to be just a gist of mental well-being and a little little peek to the mental well-being among civil service aspirants, because mental well-being as such, mental health as such, is a very wide topic for us to complete or to go in depth and practice every technique. Just for your awareness, to create an understanding that there are techniques which you can use when you feel stressed. There are techniques which will help you for setting a goal, to make you understand when there is a lot of pressure from society. That is the kind of awareness we are trying to build, and if that is done, I would consider the session to be very successful. Having said that, so I just quickly would like to know, I know it's almost the end of the day and you all had a weekend. So how was your day? How did your day go? Can you quickly tell me how were you feeling today? How was your day? In your chat box. You can put your responses in your chat box. Yes. Was it a good day? Was it a bad day? Was it not so great day? You're still looking forward to have a good day. Again, this is not going to be a monologue where I keep saying things. It would be good if we are looking at a interactive session. So you can just post your responses. Not so good. Still looking for a good day. Thanks, Kanan. I hope the rest of the day you find it fruitful and helpful. It was just okay day. Okay. Good day. Thanks, Prasida. Yes. So we worried about Sunday to end. Okay. Thanks, Sayaj. Having completed 2 model exams, not getting an expected marks, still a good day. That is really good that you still hold on and you're still hopeful that the day is gonna, turn out good. Yes, thank you. Good day. 10th of presentation on one day. I hope the presentation goes well, Geetu. All right. Thank you for the responses. So we all had different kinds of days. Still, we are all here. So probably we'll make this day a little more better by making this time useful and just having some interaction and understanding about where do we stand and what are the kind of stress that we are going through. Yeah. So when we talk about health as such, most of the time, only in recent times, we are including mental health in terms of health, right? Till recent times, we just had physical health. When we say we are ill, we are only ill because we are not keeping well in our physical health, right? Either we are having fever, we are not feeling great, we are having a cold, we are having a headache. So all these are affecting your physical well-being, and imbalance to this well-being was only considered as an issue, right? But later, in 2000, I think in recent times, WHO put forth this definition where health is defined as it's not merely the absence of an illness. It's not just that we are not saying we are good, we are healthy when there is when absence of illness is there. Rather, we tell it we are healthy. We tell we are healthy when we have a complete state of mental, physical, and social well-being. So it is a balance of all these three, and when all these three are well, we tell we are healthy. Okay, so as you can see, mental health plays equal role as for physical health and also social well-being. So we are all social animals as such. So social well-being, mental well-being, and physical well-being is given equal importance, and these are all interconnected as well. So as we go forward, we will see that as well. So when we say well-being, so mental health is one concept that we keep hearing, right? Mental health is one concept, and when we say well-being is more of a lighter terminology. Well-being is more connected to your day-to-day activities and how are you feeling right now. Are you happy? Are you feeling content? Are you were you able to function properly? Are you are you feeling are you having a good relationship with people? So all these put together are well-being. So well-being is more of a milder terminology, but what happens, well-being is very important to have a pleasant day and to have this day running every other day. So this civil service as such is comparatively long process. It's not that you're starting to prepare today and you will end your preparation in a month or in 2 months, right? At least a minimum of a year it takes. I think with all the examination, prelims and mains, it goes around 15 months of time, and 15 months is not a short span. Imagine every day your mental well-being is getting affected, one aspect or the other. You're slowly feeling you're not feeling happy, you're not feeling satisfied, you can't tell that you are having good relationship with others, you can't, slowly your functionality is getting affected, right? So this whole change that is happening would lead to lead to severe issues in mental health. Okay, so mental well-being is one aspect of mental health, but what happens when you don't take care today or every day, it just contributes, accumulates, and it affects your mental health. Okay, so it is very important we understand mental well-being. And when we talk about mental well-being, it is your ability to adapt to a new environment. It is your ability to feel good and also to function well, majorly to cope with every other challenge that is coming across in every day. And we have positive emotions, we have negative emotions to navigate between these. When you have a negative emotion, so some of you did say that you are not having a great day, right? But you did understand you're not having a great day, and you're going to make some adjustment, you're going to cope to it, and then going to make it a good day. That is you trying to restore that balance, you're trying to restore that well-being, right? And another important aspect of well-being is development of one's potential. So the idea of psychology, or one school of psychology itself, is that human being has the full potential. Okay, so that is the basic of counseling that we do, person-centered counseling that we do, where we know that the client has the full potential, just that the client needs some guidance and needs some tweaking to get that awareness and insight that this is the problem, this is the answer I want to reach. So as a person, you yourself has that full potential, is the understanding. But what happens, this potential get hindered when you are not able to function well, when you don't have the right kind of mindset, right? So this affect your working and functionality, and later leading to your hampering your mental health. And then another aspect is having some control over one's life. That is also very important in well-being. When we are talking about well-being, imagine you have zero control over life, someone else have a control over your life, the actions that you are doing, the thought that you are doing, everything that is controlled by someone. It is very difficult to navigate through the day, right? So to have a proper well-being, to have a proper balanced well-being, that is important. Another sense of purpose. You are all here, most of you are civil service aspirants, some of you are still figuring out what you want to do, right? That is also important, to understand what is the purpose of your action, what is the purpose of the decisions that you are doing. If now you are all civil service aspirants, why are you doing it? There is a purpose to it, there is some reason that you want to hold on to. And I also strongly feel and believe that it shouldn't be someone else's purpose, it should be your purpose, it should be something that you can make sense out of. Okay, and then social, connecting to social animals, we always need people. So one important aspect when it comes to mental well-being among civil service aspirants is the social support system that we will be dealing in the later part. So always having positive relationship also important for the well-being. So when we talk about this, we also understand how mind and body works, right? So let's say you are having a very low day in terms of your physical health. You woke up with a very bad headache, and you have a high temperature, and you're not able to eat properly because whatever you're eating, you're feeling nauseous. So what happens? Automatically, your mind also starts to come down according to your physical health, right? So there is a whole connection between this mind and body. When we talk about mind and body, it's not just mind and body. The new perspective is that we look health from a holistic view. So it includes spirituality, it includes mind, body, your environment, the social system that you have. All of that together contributes to your holistic health, is what the new perspective is. So at least let's have an understanding that your mind and body works together. If one is affected, the other gets automatically affected. So let it be mind or the body, it affects the other person. So they function as as a team. It's much easier for us to understand. When we have a fever, we feel down, we don't want to work that day, we don't want to go anywhere, right? The other way also works. That is the thing. So imagine you're someone who always constantly have a negative talk to yourself. You keep saying to yourself that, no, I do look fat, I don't think I can do that, I don't think I'm gonna crack that, I don't think so. If you have negative thinking pattern continuously, that starts to show in your it affects your mental health, and it starts affecting your physical well-being also. Okay, so this both just go hand in hand, and there is a very strong connection between mind and body. And that is also the reason why we have to take care of mind, body together. Okay, so it's not just physical health that we talk about, we also have to talk about mental well-being. Okay, and as we discussed earlier, when we feel low mental well-being for a longer time, let's every day after day, what happens? It starts accumulating. Today it's just a bad day. Tomorrow, and I'm not doing anything to cope with it. Tomorrow again, I'm waking up and I'm feeling today at least I was okay till afternoon, and I did my work, and I was able to, I called my parents, I spoke to them, I somehow pushed myself to go to work. All that was happening, and after I came back, I was not feeling great, and I did not think about it. The next day I'm waking up, and I can just see that yesterday I was able to work till afternoon, but today it's like till 10 I was okay. But then slowly I'm again going back to, I'm not feeling like talking to my parents, I don't feel like calling anyone, I don't feel like going for work, I don't feel like having food, I just don't feel like moving. Slowly what happens? One day it is just getting a scratch on your well-being. The second day it's just again a next line on the well-being, and slowly what happens? It just starts twirling again and again, and it just gets tangled, which ultimately leads to mental health problems. You understood? So single stress, if that is not tackled properly, and if it is some recurring every day, and it starts having a mark on your neurological system, and we are not philosophically just talking, it starts having a mark on your neurological system, and you start adapting to it. The more and more you can see, some people, what happens is that you see them after 4 years or 2 years or 3 years, you can see they're maladapting to something, and they feel that is okay, right? That is because they get wired that way, because that is how they were adapting. So what happened? They don't understand, but there is an existence of mental health problem, right? So taking care of you every day, every moment is important, and it's okay. Some days you are gonna feel bad, some days you're gonna have a bad day, some days you're gonna have negative emotions, some day you're gonna feel low, but we cope and we manage. That is why all of us are born with some innate coping strategies, and we learn some innate coping strategies. So that is what we are going to talk about. Okay, so I think this whole idea of mental health and what mental well-being is a little clear now. So now I just wanted to set that foundation. Now we will break it down and we will talk in terms of civil service aspirant. So just picking up the highlighters, it is about abilities of a person. When abilities, when your capability, when you're not able to, produce what you're supposed to, then we tell your mental health is getting hampered. When you're not able to cope with normal stress of life, every day everyone comes up with some stress. Morning you're waking up and I'm not finding the right pair of dress that I'm supposed to wear today. That is a stress for me. Today I'm getting a medical report saying I'm diagnosed with cancer. That is also stress for me, right? So stress can be small, stress can be big, and how am I coping with that is important. So stress happens to every person, but how am I doing it? How am I coping with that? I have my examination coming up and I'm taking previous year question paper. I did study for like 9-10 months. I prepared for this and I'm doing my previous year question paper, but I'm finding that I'm not able to answer that. That is very stressful, right? That is highly stressful. You worked for 9 months, you prepared for 9 months, and you're taking up one question paper, and you are not finding, you're not able to clear that question paper, or you're not able to finish that question paper on time. You will start self-doubting, right? But from there you have to cope, you have to make, you have to understand, and then you have to keep working and come out of it, right? So that is coping with stresses of life. Work productivity. What makes a human different from other beings is the functionality, right? We work with some aim. We wake up and we have certain, we have productivity. We try to be productive. In some way or the other, productivity is again subjective. My productivity, my goals for the day is different from the other person. But still, am I being productive is my perspective, right? Am I ticking off my to-do list? That tells me if I'm productive or not. And last, to be able to make contribution to society, to community that we are living in many ways. It doesn't just mean by you living according to social norm, and you living without harming someone else is also being cordial with the community. So we all have some social norms that we follow and do. Are we able to give back to society? Are we able to play a role in the society is also very important. Okay, so having said that, from you, I would like to know, now that you are all thinking of being taking up or approaching take up IAS examination, which is one of the very, I would say, lakhs of students take up this examination every year. So it's a very important examination. The end result is also, the reward that you get out of that is also big, right? The reward is big. What you attain when you clear the IAS examination is huge. To reach that particular point is also little quite difficult. I would not say it's easy, just like plucking a fruit. It's not that easy. It is it is quite difficult, is what I would say. So, what are some issues that you think a civil service aspirant might come across during this preparation time or while facing the examination? What are some of the thoughts that you have that is coming to your mind when you think of civil service examinations? Again, you can put up your responses in the chat box. Uncertainty of the examination. Okay, I think Santya's messaged directly. So uncertainty of the examination. You don't know, uncertainty in many ways, right? You don't know which question is going to come. You don't know exactly how you have to, it's just, you get that one shot and you have to do it. Anxiety and depressing feelings that you have to handle, deal as you prepare. Yes, yes. Uncertainty of the examination is one. Anxiety, depressive feelings. Yes, then anything else that is coming to your mind? Thank you, both of you. So some of the thoughts, again, these are some of the thoughts, some of the issues, that lack of confidence as you go, as one thought is that it's just that it's a long process, right? It's about 9 months or 10 months or 12 months of preparation. So it's a long process. To retain this confidence is very important. To retain this motivation throughout this process is difficult. We might be confident now. I am very confident now. I'm motivated. I want to study. All that is there. How do I retain this throughout this when I'm facing a lot of challenges? Yes, a lot of challenges and all that. So some of the reasons that came to listed down is one, competition. Definitely, competition is, as I was saying, lakhs of students are approaching this examination. All of them are preparing in their own pattern, their own style. It is not like how you take up an UG course and finish one examination where you know what you're still, you share your materials and you know what the other person is up to, and you have some midterm examinations. All of you take up the midterm examination, so you know where each one of you stay, and there is some anchoring point for you, right? This is the syllabus. This is where I stand for my midterm, and I have to put this much of effort. Likewise, but it's the number of people who take up this examination is huge, and people keep repeating as such. Yes. Okay. And then next thought is uncertainty. Biggest stressor that comes with IAS preparation, civil service preparation, is the uncertainty. Uncertainty, again, connecting to the vastness of a syllabus. You don't know what all topics to be covered. Just a minute, I'll just admit a couple of them. Yeah, what all topics to be covered, right? And uncertainty about the examination. So when COVID pandemic happened, the whole pattern changed and the timing changed, everything shifted, right? So that uncertainty, when will the examination come? Will I pass or not? Because again, if you don't pass this time, you have to give it a try the next time. So when do I clear my examinations? That is also uncertain. There is a age bar for this, and there is, so lot of uncertainty is there. We will also see how uncertainty is related to our evolutionary point of view. Vastness of syllabus, there is no prescribed saying this is the boundary. As we get for our undergraduation or PG, there is no boundary saying this is what you study, you come for the examination, study this and come. No. And then there is continuous examination, right? It is not one examination. There is prelims, and then there is mains, and then there is interview. So there is continuous examination. Approaching one examination is stressful. Imagine when you know you have to go one after the other. That creates that, that builds a lot of stress in you, right? And then we all live in a community where culturally we are all involved, and we all culturally we follow social norms, and there is a set pattern that is expected. You complete your graduation in this time, you complete your post graduation in this time, you start earning in this time, you give back to society in this time, home this time, and you get married in this time. And according to gender, this whole thing varies, right? According to gender, the expectation varies. So when you cross that particular age, people start asking, why you're not going out, you're not earning, I still see you home sitting studying. And trust me, lot of shame is attached to it. So as when students who prepare for IAS come, they actually log themselves in and study, so that the other people don't know that they are there. They are at their home studying, because they've been studying for months, and people keep asking why he or she is not going out, why he or she is not being part of the social things, events, but they're studying and they're not clearing the examination. What is happening? So we are very curious, and this brings a lot of difficulty for the aspirants, for the students. Lack of social system. Again, with these social norms, Some of the students will be blessed to have a solid social system. Let it be family, let it be friends, let it be people who are supporting in any kind. Some of the faculty will be supporting. So some social system is there. But unfortunately, many of us over the period of time feel lonely or feel that lack of support over the period of time when people see that you're not reaching that goal in the expected time, like in the expected time that is fixed in their mind. They were expecting you to finish it by this time, but you didn't. So lot of factors like guilt, shame, all of that is also attached to this. And facing the exam. And one more thing I would add is the consistency issue. Again, you start with I'm motivated, I'm well equipped, I know the resources, I spoke to people, whoever is cleared, I spoke to them, all of that is done, right? But it just wanes off. For us to stay motivated and finish, let's say 21 days of challenge for fitness, that is difficult. Imagine someone who has to wake up every day at 4 or 5, and then they have to just push themselves. There is no one keep saying, do it, or likewise, not necessarily all the time, but they have to have that drive throughout. And most of the time we don't know how to create that drive every other time, because there are also a lot of challenges that is coming as in terms of failures, in terms of judgments. So when all that challenge is coming against you, how do you drive through this just to clear that examination? That is another thought we have. Okay. So few factors that we discussed, we will just touch that upon, and then we will see some of the techniques that we can use. Again, this needs a lot of time, and we have to go in detail, but quickly maybe I'll go in detail with one or two techniques which you can use when you find it difficult. Okay, so when we are talking about stress is something that all of us will face every day on a daily basis, and to an extent it also helps in your performance. So there is something called as eustress, which is like a positive stress. You need some amount of stress for you to perform. Imagine if I'm someone who don't even feel, I'm not even worried about my examination. We have met people like that. We have had friends like who just come up for the examination, no stress at all. Maybe they'll sleep half of the time. So that affects the performance. So some amount of stress is good, but there is also a thin silver lining beyond which it becomes distress, right? Again, stress is also very subjective, where you can't say that I'm saying I'm feeling stress up around 80%, and let's say Gautam sir is saying I'm feeling around 50%. My 50, his 50 and my 80 is not going to be on the same metric system, right? What I feel is what I feel. What my stressors are my stressors. Maybe I might not even be able to tell it to someone. Let's say I am preparing, and let's say Anamika is also preparing, right? We are following the same syllabus, but one particular subject, one particular topic is, I'm not able to grasp that. I'm not able to study that. That is a stress for me. But for Anamika, who's very well versed and can actually study the whole syllabus quickly, she feels that is not that hard, right? No, stress is subjective. I feel stress, and I'll only understand what kind of stress I'm going through. We have measurements to measure stress, but again, stress is either measured in trait anxiety or something that has been consistent. You can only get a range. You can't get the absolute number that you're feeling that stress for. So there is no metric system as such to measure stress. One major stress for civil service aspirants is uncertainty, right? With uncertainty comes ambiguity. You don't know what you have to expect. Remember the first few days, or let's say even few months of pandemic, there were a lot of mixed messages about how to take care of your health, what all you should take, what all you should not take, how do this particular virus get transmitted. There were assumptions that it get transmitted through air. When you are standing 3 meters, 4 meters away, it get transmitted. So lot of assumptions were there, and ultimately, so there was a lot of ambiguity, and we all did survive, right? Some of them were not able to survive through COVID as well, but along with that uncertainty came the threat, right? And according to evolution itself, according to Darwin's theory, it is only survival of the fittest. Second one, we are always focused on survival and reproduction. So when there is a threat, your your body get adapted to survive. Your body get all aroused and be like, I'm ready to fight. So with that uncertainty comes a lot of ambiguity, and you don't know what you have to expect. So when you're worrying without knowing what to expect, that becomes anxiety. Okay, that is how stress takes up the form of anxiety. So you don't know what you have to expect, you don't know what you have to study, you don't know when you are going to clear. All these are threats. You combine this particular threat with with uncertainty, gives you the anxiety. So uncertainty is one of the biggest stressor. Again, what are the few? So when you get stressed, there are certain bodily changes that come to you, right? When you feel stressful, there are certain reactions that come to you. What are some of the reactions that come to you? For everyone, it is different. Some of you might get headache, some of you might feel, some of you will lose appetite. So what are some of the symptoms that you get when you feel stressful, not just in terms of, when you're preparing civil service, generally? Anyone? Is there any other physical difficulties that you get when you are stressful, when you are much worried about things, when you feel overwhelmed? You get an angry mood, your mood changes. Headache, yes. Blood pressure varies, yes. You can actually feel your heart beating faster. You feel, yes, blood pressure varies. Any other response? Fatigue. You feel tired sometimes. Some people goes to very angry mood. Some people become very silent mode. Yes. You start sweating, you start you start tremoring, right? So what happens is that angry mode, yes, thank you for the responses. So what happens is that when you encounter a stressful event or a stressor, your body quickly turns to fight or flight mode. That is, you either run away from this, or you stand and fight. Again, this is just the basic evolutionary perspective. You either fight it or you fly. Okay, your body quickly switches to that. According to that, your nervous system also starts working. Your heart, your body gets prepared for whatever you're going to do. Your heart rate increases, your dilation of the eye pupil changes, your blood circulation changes, you start sweating, your digestive system starts slow down in their function. So all these changes automatically happens to acute, either to fight it or to fly from that situation. So what happens at that moment itself, your brain also just freezes. Your prefrontal cortex, where you keep taking decisions, it just switches. So that is how most of the time we feel overwhelmed, right? We don't know what to do, and we just do whatever the first reaction that is coming to us. Because for some time there is stress hormone that is working in us. With that particular point of time, we either decide to stand and fight that particular thing, or we fly. What happens in a for a civil service aspirant is that you don't have, for you to fly, or for you to move away from the situation, is very difficult. You are left with no choice. You have to stay there and fight, right? So what happens is that you automatically become stressful, and this stress just prolongs with you. As a civil service aspirant, what most of our focus goes to just completing the syllabus, and because we have a particular syllabus that has to be followed, or at least we have a rough topics that we have to follow. No matter what, I'm stressful, I know my thoughts are just all over the place, but still I want to complete this. You will try to complete, you will not be able to study, but again this stress, all these symptoms start coming up, right? So some of you might have cry spells, some of you burst with anger, you start having difficulty over the period of time. You will start seeing that you either eat a lot or you don't eat at all, and you also start losing interest in daily activities, and you either sleep a lot or you don't even you find it really difficult to sleep. Your behavior changes, your social interaction changes, and it is also connected with a lot of guilt, helplessness, hopeless. All these symptoms starts popping up. Okay, so what can you do to face this? Again, these are not the only techniques that we have to cope with anxiety. There are a lot of techniques. We will just quickly see few. One, the easiest, quickest way when you're feeling overwhelmed is to focus your attention to the breathing. That is, just focus how you inhale, and that air gets through your nostril, goes to your lungs, and slowly you exhale. Again, it just comes out through your nostril. So we focus our we just bring our focus to that particular breathing pattern. So what happens? One, you distract your focus from whatever was causing stress. Another thing is that you're telling your body that no, you're relaxed, right? You are taking your intake of oxygen increases, so your nervous system, your heart rate was high, all that starts getting relaxed. When your body gets relaxed, automatically your mind starts to feel relaxed. So remember that mind body connect, so that just parallelly works. And when your body starts relaxing, when you say your body, relax, you get your sufficient amount of oxygen. Now you breathe, so slowly your heart rate just decreases. So according to that, your nervous system also starts believing that okay, there is nothing to be worried. You can slowly calm down, right? So there are a lot of breathing techniques that you can see. I'm not very sure if we have time, but quickly I'll give you one example of how you can do breathing. One is regular breathing that you can do, right? It's not just for, even if it's a minute stress, or even when you practice breathing exercise every day, it just helps you a lot to bring that balance. So one is generally focusing your attention to breathing, inhaling slowly and exhaling. Another type of breathing is something that you can do is that square breathing or box breathing. So how you do it is, maybe you can also try it along. So how you do that is that you start from here. Okay, you can see you start here, you start from there, you breathe in for 4 seconds, like you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold that for 4 seconds, you exhale for 4 seconds, and hold it for 4 seconds. So breathe in, hold, breathe out. So that is what square breathing is. So you slowly breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 4 seconds, you exhale it for 4 seconds, and then you again hold it for 4 seconds. So this is called as square breathing, which is also a technique that comes under mindfulness. So this also helps. Okay, this is something that you can do. Another thing is, so here you can see we have breathing techniques, and then there is also guided imagery. So easiest way for guided imagery there are a few apps that helps in guided imagery. So guided imagery, at least you might be familiar, where you take your whole focus to a pleasant picture that you have. Let's say whichever is your pleasant picture. Let's say if it's a beach, for me it's a beach. I imagine myself in that particular situation. I start to imagine the details, how the waves are coming and how the waves are hitting my feet, and what is the feeling that I'm getting when that wave hit my feet, and how does the sand feel? Is it and is it a sunny day? What is around? So I'm creating a very pleasant mental picture, where again you are taking your whole thought and focus to a happy picture. Doing exercise daily, physical activity helps to maintain your well-being, not just in terms of stress, but in terms of well-being. Time management takes off a lot of anxiety and stress, because you know what you are expecting, right? You're bringing some kind of certainty to there. Social support is very important. Seek social, again we will discuss social support. Seek social support where where you can talk to people, where you don't have to, where your guilt or whatever negative feeling you have don't enlarge, rather it just shrinks, and they give you that particular support. Okay. Then leisure activities, always make sure. Most of the time what happens, when you start preparing, you sit straight 14 hours, 15 hours, or there are people who even try to prepare for 16 hours, 18 hours a day, which if it is working well and good, but it is not, it might not be helping your mental well-being at the end. Okay. So always find at least 10 minutes or 20 minutes for your leisure activity. Another easiest and very effective way is journaling. So journaling can be anyway. Journaling is you writing it down. So how in childhood we used to write the diary. Journaling is found to be very effective to get insights also. Most of the time what happens, there are a lot of thoughts coming in. I want to study this portion, I'm not able to study. I did not go for that function, so parents are quite angry about me. At me, and I did not have my lunch, I'm feeling hungry. I'm looking at this particular portion, but I'm not. My whole mind is totally filled with lot of thoughts. The easiest way is to write it down. You can just write it down. Either it can be time bound, saying I'm going to write it down whatever coming to my mind for 15 minutes, or you can just write it down until you feel relieved, and you go back and you check. So when you go back and read, it gives you a third person perspective. It gives you some insight about what is triggering you, what is the exact problem, what you should be doing now, how so you will be reading it, you will be reading your thoughts there. So you will be judging it from a third person perspective, and understand this is not helping me now, this is helping me. Maybe I'll go have food, then I'll talk to my parents why I was not able to come, then I'll come back and start studying, right? So you can either free writing is one pattern of writing, you can just write, or you can also use prompts. Even gratitude journaling is one kind of prompting, where you are going to write 3 things that you are thankful for right now. So daily writing a gratitude journal helps you to stay rooted, as well as it is also a prompt for you to anchor your thoughts and everything. Or another is the thought diary. So for people who find it very difficult to express and write it in paragraphs, you can divide your page into case, feeling, thoughts, illusion, and reality, thinking. So case, what is the thought, what is the problem at hand, and feeling is what are you feeling right now. Are you feeling bad, are you feeling angry, are you feeling happy, are you feeling guilty, are you feeling lost? So what is your feeling now? So case is the problem, feeling is what you're feeling right now, thinking, what are the thoughts that is coming in relation to that. So you will write what all thoughts you have. Illusion, what are the thoughts that is not in parallel with reality? What are the thoughts that you are thinking about the possibility, saying me thinking I just did not finish one portion and I'm feeling I'm not going to clear this examination, I don't have that capacity to I don't have that capacity what it takes to be a civil service aspirant, all that. And then what is the reality, what is exactly reality? I did not study this particular portion, I might want to take extra time, stay extra time, or within this portion in the next tomorrow's plan, right? So this is how thought diary works. You can divide this particular journal and read it. Okay. Now we are talking about goal setting. I would like to know how many of you all of you will have one goal right now, right? If you could share what is your goal right now that is there in your mind, except that the session should get over, except that, what is the goal that you have that you have right now? It can be short-term goal, it can be long-term goal. What goals do you have right now in your mind? Anyone? Clearing the exam. Okay. Then clearing the exam. Yes. Okay. Completing today's task. So you have, I hope you also have some to-do list that has to be done, clearing the examination. So in goal setting, most of the time, the mistake that we do is that we either plan for less challenging tasks, or we plan for overwhelming, exhausting tasks. Let's say I might have a to-do, my goal is to be happy every moment. Thanks, Kanan, for responding. So yes, we'll talk about these goals. So two of you have told clearing the examination, one person has told completing today's task, and my goal is to be happy every moment is another goal that you have. We'll be coming back to this. So what happens is that, according to the goal setting theory itself, we have a arousal state. We have an optimal level for every activity. So let's say if I'm taking swimming, for me as a person, there is a optimal arousal level. Okay, if my arousal is congruent with that level, my performance will be good. If it is over that, my arousal is higher than that, or what happens is that I feel overwhelmed. I will not be able to do that particular. I will not be able to perform that particular task. If I feel that particular task is less difficult, or let's say my arousal level is below that optimal level, what happens? Boredom hits. This is how humans work. For every activity, every person individually has the optimal level. So some of the activity you find yourself very aroused, right? And you find it very interesting, which means that particular arousal is just falling in that particular optimal space. So as you can see, even in this particular graph, there is a flow channel where things flow very smoothly. Sometimes when we are keeping challenge, what happens? It just goes above. We just exhaust and pack lot of things together, thinking let's maybe I target 10 things today. Even if I finish 5 things, that's okay. But what happens? That overwhelm you. The next day when you're looking, you have only done half of it. Next day again, five extra tasks is added to your pending list, right? What happens when you keep a very low level of task? That bores you. You will be thinking, it's okay, it's only 5 units, right? We can just take small example of your internal examinations, or your UG examinations, or your examinations that has happened in your schools. What happens? We feel, no, it's okay, we can study. It's just 1 unit, it's just 2 unit. We feel it's less difficult, it's less challenging, right? So what happens? We will not study until the next morning, because we know that it's okay, we can do it, right? So that is the problem with that. So when you're setting goal, make sure you're setting a goal that is appropriate for you, and that is something that fits into your optimal level. Again, sometimes when you set overwhelming goal, just come a little below and set it, slowly build on that. Okay. Since we are talking about goals and some of you have responded, every time when you're setting a goal, there are different ways of setting it. One easiest way, or one thing that you can always keep in your mind, is to have SMART goals. Okay. So now I'll tell you what these SMART goals are. You can think how you can modify these goals that you've already told, and bring more definition to it. Okay. So when we are setting a goal, make it very specific. Let's say clear and specific. When I say examination, which examination, I'll just tell the components. One, S stands for specific, M stands for measurable. You bring quantities, you define it based on the numbers. Let's say I'm saying I want to clear the examination. There is a lot of difference between I want to clear the examination, I want to clear the examination in the next cycle, I want to clear the examination in 2024, I want to clear the examination in 2025. So this makes a lot of difference. So you are modifying this goal, you're making it more measurable. Second is, third one is attainable. Make this, or modify this goal in terms of the attainability of it. Check if you have any, if you have enough resources. Check if you have, is it attainable? Do your capabilities align with your goal? So check all that and keep an attainable goal. Third one is relevant. Will this goal help your career? Is it very important to you? Will attaining this goal add to your journey? Wherever you're heading to, will it add to your journey? Last one is time bound. So set a time-based plan. So when you are creating a goal, let's say I'm saying I want to lose weight. That is very vague, right? I'm saying I want to lose 10 kilo in 10 months. That gives some measurement to it, that gives some time to it, and that goal is very attainable. I know what are the ways I'm going to do. I might do calorie deficit diet, I might do hit the gym. So I know what are the ways to reach that, and that is very relevant for me, because my goal, maybe my long-term goal is aligning with this, and it adds to my confidence, or it is highly subjective. So how relevant it is. So this is how you define a goal. Always make sure, rather than just thinking I want to complete this portion, when are you going to complete it? How are you going to complete it? How long are you going to take this, right? So bring lot of specificity to this particular goal. When you say you want to clear the examination, which all examination do you want to clear? When are you going to clear that? And what are the kind of ways you're going to reach that? How that exam is relevant to you? How clearing IAS is relevant to you? Okay, so this is one way of doing goal setting. When you're doing a goal setting, it is important you break it down. So if time permits, I'll also, with the permission of Gautam sir, I'll share some worksheet where you can actually write down, if you're finding it difficult, you can break these goals and understand what these are, what these components are, then define your goal. And again, break it to 1 year. If you're going to do this for 1 year, break it to 6 months and see what you're going to attain. Break it to 1 month and see what you're going to attain. Break it to a week and see what you're going to attain. And tomorrow, prepare a to-do list to check what you're going to attain today. So what happens? Your to-do list adds up and reaches that 1 month goal. That adds up, reaches your 6 month goal. That adds up and reaches your 1 year goal. Invest in your goal setting plan. Okay, so that is some of the components. Stress goal setting. Another very important thing is to equip yourself. It is not about knowledge, it is about competency. The skill is very important. You have to be, it is a competition, it is an examination. You should know how to go about this preparation. You should you should tackle it, and you should know about all that. But it's not just about knowledge gaining, it's not just about acquiring knowledge. You should also be able to produce that. Imagine you got all the knowledge, you've studied everything. If you have not equipped yourself in terms of skills and in terms of your attitude and all that, you will go to the exam hall and there is a high chance that you're not able to reproduce that, right? So be prepared, be equipped for this particular challenge, and be systematic and consistent over time. Always one important thing is, see your previous year question papers as a simulation ground, where it is not just for knowledge gaining, it is to increase your skills, your time management skill, your how you balance, how you manage and write that particular question paper. How are you approaching that question paper? Are you going from tough to easier, or are you going to easier to tough? All that is important. Okay, so competency, equip yourself is another thing. Always be reminded that you all have same goal, but you can always have different pathways. You always will have different pathways based on the individual characteristics, right? You most of the time what happens, we listen to the toppers, people who have cleared the examination, or people who have been preparing for the examination, which is really good, because sharing experience, gaining experience and knowledge from other people helps you to prepare yourself. But don't blindly follow them. Stop the herd mentality where you follow blindly what the other person is doing. The other person is studying for 18 hours, I'll study for 18 hours. The other person followed this timetable, I'm following this timetable. It will not fit into your timetable, and slowly what happens is that you will not be able to fit. You will be running around with this particular plan. You will not be going in any direction. You will be just going in circle, trying to fit in this particular timetable with the amount of work that you have, all that. Ultimately you will start feeling that you're not capable. You can't even finish one day's goal, right? How am I going to reach that? So understand individual differences. Your goal, your setting goal, your planning, your timetable changes according to your learning pattern, according to the aptitude you have for particular subject. So every subject, your paper 1, paper 2 will have, you have a different aptitude towards each paper. You might be good at one paper, you might not be good at the other paper. So your aptitude towards each paper, your social support system is different from the other people. Your tolerance for stress is different. Your tolerance for any kind of psychological factor is different, and different kind of privileges also is there. So some of you might be studying from home where you don't even have to you're not expected to cook, you're not expected to clean, you get your food, you are sitting in a room, you have, when you go back, it's not just about the facility. When you go back, you have your parents or your family to talk to, and when you're stressed, they are there to support. Many of you would be going somewhere to get prepared because you don't have you might be having a dysfunctional home or family. You might not be having enough facility. Just because you're not able to sit at home and study, you might be going. So where you are expected to cook, or you are at least expected to take care of yourself, you have to spend some time with your daily routine and all that. So all this varies, right? But doesn't mean one person gets higher time and the other person don't. It's not like that. There is a particular space where you can actually focus and study, which is around 6 to 8 hours. But for a civil service aspirant, I know it is not enough, right? But slowly build on it. Slowly understand what works for you, which timetable works for you, which system works for you, and then adapt to it. Okay, so that is how you cope with things. You try, you test it. If it is working, you hold on and you develop on that. If it is not working, you rework on that system. Okay, social support system. So social support system changes for every person. One, you can see that there is a predictable social support. How other person behaves is not in your hand, and social support needs effort, needs energy. No matter how much you say that you don't, it's okay, you can your friend and you call once in a year or twice in a year. We are all social animals, and we can't stay alone. We can't survive alone. We need a group. That is how evolution wise we've been trained to, right? So we need that support. And most of the time what happens is that we might not be getting that support, and we are also very uncertain about a lot of things, which start affecting the relationship, all kind of relationship. Let it be relationship with the parents, relationship with the friends, and also your emotional vulnerability will be very high when you're going through these process. So what happens, your reactivity increases, that hampers your relationship, all that affects. So have some predictable social support where you can go and you can you can talk to them, and you get a little clarity than bringing back a lot of emotional problems and also difficulties. right? Because when you're vulnerable, when you're emotionally vulnerable, let's say you walk in and your friends say, hey, you're studying so much and you don't seem to clear even one paper, what is happening? That might affect you so much at that point of time, right? So you need a predictable social support, and also very important that you vocalize your problems, you vocalize your availability to them. Imagine you keep dropping plans, that is because you want to prepare and you think they should understand, but they will not, and they will think that you're always dropping plans and she's not engaged as before. Maybe she should not belong to this belong to our friend group, right? So be vocal about give some certain idea to them, saying, I am preparing from this time to this time. This time I'm free. I would like to talk. I would like to catch up on. Or if you're unavailable, tell them that you're unavailable and you would like to catch up any other time. Maybe next week I'm a little free. I would like to catch up with you all if that is okay with you. So have that communication where you can give some certain answers, and be always vocal about the about the things that you're going through and emotions that you're going through, so that other person know. Don't expect others to judge and understand, oh yes, that person is going through so much and I should understand. Most of the time it don't work like that, and it's much easier when you keep a very transparent communication system. It is easier for your emotional regulation also. Okay. I think we are coming to the end of this particular session. Very importantly, how do we deal with criticism? Because criticism comes from different places. It comes from the closest family member. It comes from the it comes from people, maybe from the extended family, from friends, from people unknown, from social media platforms. Lot of criticism comes from around. And as I was saying, very vulnerable at this point. First and foremost thing is to respond, take some time and respond, and not to react. Always try to have a rational mind. And importantly, criticism can be constructive or destructive. Selectively pay attention to the criticism. You decide if you want to pay to this or not. And if you feel it is a destructive criticism, saying, someone is saying, hey, you can't do this, I don't think it's there in you to complete all this, please ignore those criticisms, understanding that those are destructive criticism. Someone is saying a lot of things, and your mother is very much worried and saying, why are you not acting like this, or so many things, and she says that you're not eating properly, you're not sleeping properly, like that, right? If someone who's about to react might not even listen to this, react. So what happens? You're not getting what that person is trying to say. So listen. If it is a constructive criticism, try and imbibe what you require. So when someone is saying you're not eating properly, when someone is saying you are not sleeping properly, that might be coming from a place of concern. Take that and think if that is the right thing, if it is true, and have a rational decision. And if it is true, then work on it. If not, then you can you can just ignore it. So pick your battles. You don't have to fight all the battles, and also always have in mind that you are uncertain about a lot of things. Similarly, like your people around you who have who have real concern are also going through uncertainty. Your parents, your family, your friends, they are also going through uncertainty, and they don't have any idea how to deal this also. Maybe not even as you have, right? So also be a little empathetic for them as well. Be considerate about that also. Understand that uncertainty is there for all of them. It is all new for everyone. And yes, so these are a few things I wanted to discuss. And also make sure that you are coping well, and you are rebounding, you are resilient, and you're getting back. If not, there are also possibilities for you to take help and seek help, voice out, ask help from your family, friends. They are all ready to help you. And again, as I told, these are all small topics that we touched upon. There are details to it and techniques that you can do for yourself to take care and make sure you are keeping your well-being intact. Probably we will also discuss all this in detail in the upcoming sessions. And I'm very happy that IPM has made psychological well-being sessions as a part of the curriculum, the sessions that they have planned out. They have planned 2 sessions a month, and which is great, because now the support that you get when you have a proper well-being, when you have a balanced well-being, it is an added bonus, and it helps you rather than when it is absent. That is when you find it difficult. It's more like, when you're functioning physically well, it's all going, you don't appreciate anything. We don't generally appreciate how good we can see, how good we can hear. Only it starts damaging. That is when we feel, oh, now my vision is not okay, I have to wear a glass, I have to wear a hearing aid. It's the same with mental health also. Only when it is getting hampered, we start appreciating it. So we'll be around to help you also with all of this throughout your journey. And I'm wishing all the best to all of you. And thank you, IPM, for this wonderful opportunity. And I hope this was there was some takeaway from the session as well. Thank you. Over to you, sir.